Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my What Sold video, which will be for last Monday through Thursday, December 2nd through the 5th. Crazy sales, y'all. Crazy sales. I'm going to share some of them with you. Yeah, it's been an amazing month. I've had my one day, not this 4-day period, best day of the year, and then this last 90 days have been the highest I think that I can ever remember. So it's been a good fourth quarter, which, you know, surprising because that October was kind of worrisome as far as, you know, just lots of issues with the eBay and sales and stuff. So
you would have expected the sales to have been
even better
than they were.
November really picked up, and then December is going to be has been crazy. I figure it's about to start winding down.
This is December 13th.
Yeah, so I figured sales are going to start winding down because people are going to realize that, you know, it's not going to make it in time unless they're like us and, you know, years gone by, we wait till the last minute, or I get a last minute idea and, you know, it comes after Christmas. But our kids are older, so they don't really care. But let me see. I've got things to share with you from 4 of the platforms, and a ton from eBay. So let me go ahead and get that started. But before we do that, you know, we appreciate all the support that you guys give to our channel. If you're planning on doing any kind of shopping, we've got links down in the description of our video. Also, if you are going to think about American Bubble Boy or List Perfectly or any of those other affiliates that we have, click on them also.
And if you missed last night's video
about
the ship with me, it says free printer on it. If you've somehow missed that one,
go back.
Go watch it. You can win the free Munbyn printer.
Yep. Go back and watch it. One sale to share on Mercari. Okay, Mercari. I've been wish-wash with this thing. But they came out and they're going to be changing the fee structure, which is great. Except they're still charging our buyers a small percent, 3 point something or other percent.
Which I don't like.
I don't
when
like
I go when I go to Amazon and something is $20, I pay $20 plus sales tax plus any shipping, which, you know, Amazon's almost always free shipping. When you go to eBay, you pay for the $20, you pay the shipping, you pay the tax. That's it. You expect to pay that. What site on earth, other than Mercari, and there might be some others out there, charges regular buyers this kind of stuff? Now, as resellers, we know when we go to, let's say, I think HighBid does it, and auction sites do it, like auctions that sell to typically businesses, they have buyer premiums. That's a normal way that business has been done. You expect that, and as resellers, we expect that, but buyers don't expect to pay some sort of extra fee on top of the price of the item above shipping and tax, sales tax. I really wish they would figure out their shipping to make it more reasonable. I appreciate that they use SurePost because it does make a lot of the items more affordable. But yeah, I prefer USPS. First and foremost, you know, I can take it to the post office with all my other packages. Having to do SurePost and go, you know, 20 minutes down the road to drop it off at a UPS store is just tedious for as few sales as I make on there. So I really wish this new CEO or this returning CEO, whichever he is, would fix their shipping. Make it actual, you know, like eBay does. Yeah, what it's going to cost to get to the buyer, not what it's going to cost somebody to ship to the farthest person across the country from them. Because when we looked, was it last year?
Last year, I think.
It was charging us what it would cost to ship to somebody in California.
Or Oregon.
Even if the person was in the next town over from us.
Yep. It's, yeah, ridiculous shipping. All right, so on Mercari, I sold these frame denim women's jeans for $24.
And don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. And she doesn't charge shipping on, she charges shipping on all this stuff. I almost said it wrong. Even if it's on Mercari, she charges shipping.
Yes.
Somebody asked about that. Why not? In one of the comments. It's because we tried free shipping several years ago.
I think 2018.
We sold more dollars and more items, but made less profit.
Yep.
I don't want to sell more stuff and make less money. The only good thing about selling more is it clears out space, but we're making less money for more work. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and when you have free shipping, you know it's not really free shipping. You've built it into the cost of your item. So if you're running sales, you have to keep that in mind. When you get offers, you have to keep that in mind.
If you charge shipping and the buyer returns it for they change their mind or don't like the color, and you charge shipping and offer free returns, you don't have to refund the original shipping.
Right.
If you offer free shipping, there's no original shipping to keep back from them, so you have to return every penny.
Every penny. So you're out that shipping. Both shippings. So that's why, no. It works for some people, but I've tried it. I don't like it. I won't do it again. All right, this item sold on Poshmark. It is an IKEA Bernese dog plush. Sold for $25. Y'all, this is still floating. It has not been delivered yet.
Buyers getting grumpy, as you would expect.
Yeah, hopefully the post. I've only had a few issues so far with delays in shipping that I'm aware of at this point. But yeah, you worry when you've seen it. This sold like the 2nd or the 3rd, and it's been 10 days and it's still floating. Somebody
left a comment that said they sold something back in November that still hasn't gotten there.
Yep. All right, and then these Madewell women's corduroy pants. These sold for $31. Another issue. This buyer has opened up a case on Poshmark saying that they are very short. But I have measurements in the pictures. So I'm not sure. I'm assuming I'm going to win this case, but I haven't seen the end result yet because the buyer just said, responded in the case that she didn't pay attention and it's on her. So hopefully I'm going to get to keep this $31. That's the good thing about Poshmark. They rule on this stuff. They decide. And for the most part, sellers usually win their cases there, where we know that's not always the truth on eBay. All right, and then these Levi's 505 black denim jeans sold for $15. And this Lego Duplo building blocks sold for $30. And then I have one sale to share with you on Etsy. But y'all, Etsy exploded after this. I've had 16 sales since this one. So over the last 10 days, I think I've had 16 sales on Etsy. So I'm very happy.
Somebody left a comment in last night's video that they have, I want to say 1,800 on Etsy and 1,200 on eBay, and they sell 6 times as much stuff on Etsy as they do eBay.
Yeah, that's my goal for next year. As far as business wise, I'm going to try to have almost everything that I have listed on at least 2 platforms. There's certain things, I don't want to really list stuff that's under $15 on Poshmark because it's the flat rate, $2.95 if you sell it for 15 or less. But I may go ahead and list a lot of those items on Mercari, and then, vintage or things that you use to make other things, you can sell on Etsy. But I sell a lot of vintage, but not everything I sell is vintage. So I'll try to get as much. I think I'm up to like 800 items on Etsy. I have been cross-listing like crazy to it because my sales have been so amazing. I think at this point, the last 30 days on Etsy was $1,400, which that's probably more than I made all of last year on Etsy. So it's been crazy good. All right, but on Etsy, this Hallmark Humpty Dumpty egg plush from 1982 sold for $39.95. I picked that up this summer. I want to say I picked up 2 things at this yard sale. One was $3 and one was $4. So it's one of them. So that was an excellent, excellent sale. And then eBay. tons of my old stuff is selling. Thanks to Robert for the most part, because, you know, he tries to get to my offers before I do, and my sending offers before I do, because he's a lot more aggressive. Is that the right word?
Yes. And y'all can't see how long we've had this stuff listed.
But we can.
But we know that certain things on there, we have a date code. And the oldest date code we have is 2212, because that's when we started doing it. So some of those things have been on there since 2014 or 2018 or every now and then 2012.
A long time.
So we are now, 2212 is 2 years from 2412. So we have now reached the next level of discounts. So if you happen to view up on one of our really old listings, you're getting an even better discount now.
Right. So, for example, these were listed before 2212. They are Merrill Eddie Bauer black clogs, and they sold for $21.98. But y'all, I know we probably only paid $1 or $2 for these at yard sales, so it's still a major profit.
So you're seeing that 50% discount now?
Yeah. Robert. 50.
It's 2 years old or more. It's got to go.
Oops. All right. Spark, Create, Imagine. That is a Walmart brand. This was a sloth, 21 inches from 2020, sold for $13.45. This is an Okie Dokie Owl Lovey from 2016, bread and butter. Most loveys, y'all, sell for bread and butter, and a lot of them take a while. This one sold very quickly. I show you guys my custom label up there at the top of the screen. This one was listed in November, and it sold in November. So very quick sale, but again, bread and butter. Hug Fun Gray Schnauzer Dog, listed earlier this year, 14-inch, sold for $22.45. I like Hug Fun. I don't pick it up a whole lot anymore. Probably I'll stick with like cats and dogs. That's like the thing that tends to sell the best for me in, you know, the brands, the Dandy, the Hug Fun, the Kelly Toy, and some of the other obscure brands that I don't talk about a whole lot. But those are the ones I will continue to pick up. I'm always evolving. If you go back to my videos from a long time ago, I was picking up a lot of these brands. But over the years, you know, I'm running out of space, and I can't keep picking up a lot of the ones that I know are going to take longer to sell like I used to. Grumpy Cat. This is one of those listings. I had one of them listed. Found a second cat, decided to just go ahead and make a lot. That was back in August. And they finally sold. The two of them sold for $17.95. Toys R Us cat plush from 2015 sold for $17.05. This is a viewer sale, so thanks so much, Sherry. Sherry actually bought this item on one day, and then she actually picked up a couple of more items the next day, which is further down the line here. But she bought this FAO Schwartz koala bear in the swaddle for $19.95. So thanks, Sherry. All right, I think this was a viewer sale. Pretty sure it was. This is Peanuts Snoopy lot, sold for $15. Thanks, Kelly, for the purchase. Simply Vera Wang women's jeans, size 6, sold for $11. Jimmy Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer plush from Walmart, sold for $22.50. Quick sell. And if you notice, I listed this for $29.95. When I make my prices, I know automatically everything's going to go on sale for 10%. And a lot of times I anticipate selling it for about $25. But if I get an offer for $22.50, it's not worth that extra $2.50 for a potential profit more than to just go ahead and accept this offer. I think a lot of people get stuck on that. No, I want to make $25. make it gone. Just make it gone. It's still a major profit for me.
Working on that right now with these offers.
Talbot's women's 5-pocket flawless ankle jeans sold for $17.77. This was one of those things was listed for a really, really long time. It was Eden, and it was a little rattle white star. Finally got an offer, and it sold for $24.71. London Fog men's coat. Not a brand we're going to continue to pick up. They are hard sells.
When we first started doing clothes, I was under the impression it was a good brand. Probably something from my past. You know, maybe they used to be way back in the day, but they don't sell well for us.
No, and if you look at the custom label up there, it was $22.12, so it's been listed probably from the beginning almost when we started doing clothes. Sold it for $20. All right, Jamie Smoking Snowman Penguin. I want to say I picked these up at the Nashville bins. Pretty sure I picked up 2 different ones. I think one was a Santa, one was a snowman. Yeah, they do make this like smoking stuff out of their mouth. I listed this back in January for $50. When I got a $30 offer, it's an opportunity to go check comps, see what other people are listing them for and selling them for. It's been a year, and you know, sometimes the market fluctuates. We know that.
No. You need to go back and redo it.
Sometimes the market fluctuates and gets, you know, a whole lot of people find this thing and they list it, or, you know, the price just goes down. So when I got the $30 offer, I went and checked comps. I went and checked what other people have it listed for, and $30 was reasonable. So I went ahead and accepted it. Just make sure you, before you just, you know, how dare they send me an offer that's, you know, 40% off my original price. Go check the comps, because it may be better than you expect.
This might be the first time you get bleeped on this channel.
Oh, it was a tongue twister, y'all. Tongue twister. Wild Republic Silverback Gorilla Plush. So, it's from the St. Louis Zoo. It had a little wooden medallion there. Sold for $15.25. If you ever find Build-A-Bear animals with the St. Louis Zoo thing, definitely check the comps. I think I included some of them in the Build-A-Bear video that I made probably last year when I was doing more of the brand videos. For some reason, those are hard to find. All right, Hallmark Rodney Reindeer. This is actually Randy. Picked this up at an estate sale. Didn't find a whole lot of them this year. He sold for $17.95. Spirograph. This was a Ben's pickup. I have a feeling the missing ring that's, you can see on there, the one piece that was missing probably fell out and is in a garbage bag somewhere. It still sold very, very quickly. This one was from 1967, sold for $12.76. I think its saving grace, because it was missing a piece, was it actually had the 4 original pins. Even though they didn't work, a lot of people want those pins for their sets. So they would probably just fill in a missing set with the pins.
I remember in St. Louis in the last few years, I found, a sealed spirograph that was from the 80s or something. I can't even remember. It was old.
I'm assuming we've sold it already.
I assume. I just can't imagine a game or something. You know, how many things like that from back then are there still around that are sealed? Yeah. You know, a collectible action figure. You know, there were collectors back then that would collect stuff. Who's going to collect a spirograph game and keep it sealed, you know? It was just kind of an odd thing to keep sealed up all those years. Probably somebody's Christmas gift they never got around to.
All right, this is a Busia stocking kit. I picked this up recently at a church sale. I want to say I paid $2 each. Nope. Can't remember now, because that was stockings that were already made that I paid $2 for. Oh, I don't remember how much I paid for these. This one sold for $26.95. This was in my profit pile stuff, probably picked up a couple of years ago, but I only listed it in May. It is a Sears 2-position electric knife in that ugly olive green color that all of our parents or grandparents had growing up. It sold for $15. Garanimals, I find these quite often, and a lot of times I sell them individually like this, unless, you know, I think I've had like a blue elephant, and then I found other Garanimal things of the same animal, and I made a lot out of them, but for the most part, I'll list these separately. This one sold for $8.05. Christmas around the world, I like picking them up. I remember going to these parties when I was a young adult, and I had friends that would throw these parties. This was a berry Christmas wood sign from 1987, sold for $9.95. Picked up this griddle at a yard. It was filthy. Very, very filthy. I got this grand idea that I was going to spray it with oven cleaner and took it outside and then forgot about it, and it sat out there till it rusted. I was going to throw the whole thing away, and then I realized this drip pan actually sells pretty good, so I cleaned up the drip pan, and it sold in less than a month for $17.95. Don't leave your appliances outside forever. All right, vintage Lisa Frank kaleidoscope sold for $11.44. Bengal Tiger 16-inch. The brand was Fine Toys. Don't find that brand very often. Old listing. Sold for $18.85. Gons Itty Bitty Loves Bear Plush. Sold for $8.96. Little 5 inches. Bunnies by the Bay. I guess there was a whole series called the Global Sisters. Different ethnicities featured in these dolls. This one was from 2021, and she sold for $26.95. Mary Meyer Green Alligator Plush sold for $14.36. Now, I sold a lot of bread and butter, but I sold, a lot that were $15, $20, $25 also. It's just that time of year. Lots of people are looking for specific things for gifts. So this is a Mr. Christmas Snowman musical ornament, sold for $11.66. There's a whole series of these Tycho Sesame Street bean plush. They're 8 inches. They're from the 90s. She is one of the harder ones to find. This is Rosita, and she sold for $35.95. You'll see a lot of Mr. Snuffleupagus, Bert, Ernie, Elmo. I think like Telly Monster's kind of hard, and there's another monster, I forget his name, are a little bit harder to find. But yeah, Rosita was an excellent find. Gabby's Dollhouse Cat Hamster Plush Lot sold for $14. These were a Ben's pickup, and I mean, they're only 3 inches, so I might have 50 cents in all of it. Gund Sesame Street Cookie Monster Hand Puppet sold for $11.66. Lil Bub Plush Cat. The brand was Cuddle Barn. I guess he was like a YouTube or TikTok sensation. A special needs cat. I don't find him very often, but he tends to do well for me. So for $13.45. American Eagle women's jeans, size 0, sold for $11.41. Wacky Winners record. This was actually in the Snoopy lot that I picked up. It sold relatively quickly for $8.96. Wizard of Oz. These are the fridge magnets. I keep thinking I'm selling the last one. I officially looked. I have 2 things left from that Wizard of Oz lot that I picked up at my favorite little estate sale company. Bought a ton of stuff that weekend. So I'm down to 2. I think it's a puzzle and one other little thing. I don't even remember what it is. But these magnets sold for $26.95. Never heard of this brand before, but definitely one that I'm going to be looking for. It is Poshmark. I think it was an Anthropologie brand, but I didn't write that down. It sold in like 2 months for $55. Very, very cute dress. This brand is called Balloon Club. I don't find it very often. Vintage, little brown bear. Not something that I would pick up again just because I'm kind of moving away from a lot of the bears. $13.45. Terry cloth plush. Anytime I find them, I grab them. This one was actually by Dandy. It was just a little turtle. Sold for $35.95. Hasbro glowworms. There's a whole series of them. I do really well with them. They do take a while to sell though. I'll pick them up anytime I can find them. A lot of times you got to be careful with the glow stick. The batteries will have corroded inside of them. So pull it out if you find one of these and make sure you at least don't see crusties on the outside. This one sold for $14. Some of the others do a lot better than that one. That one's just kind of normal. Blah. All right, this brand was Shannon Distributors. It was a cute little lamb plush, sold for $17.95. Sherry again. Sherry bought these 2 things. She saw them in a recent haul video. She bought the Annalee yellow duck plush for $17.95. My friend Shannon passed this to me when we were down in Florida. And she bought this Wreck-It Ralph Vanellope doll for $49.95. So thanks again, Sherry. All right, Douglas. Douglas plush. This one sold for $8.96. Little 6-inch pink pig. A lot of the Douglas, y'all, are bread and butter. There's a few specific ones to be looking for. The larger plush, the wolves. Some of the dogs are the ones you really want to be looking for. But I like picking up the Douglas. You know, they tend to do very well for me. This one took about a month to sell. Now this was in the Snoopy lot. It was actually a packaged like Christmas set. It was the mugs, a teapot, hot cocoa, very, very expired. I just decided to split it all up. I threw all the cocoa away. I listed the cups together and then I listed the teapot. I think I've sold the teapot already. And then these 2 coffee mugs sold for $9.95. I picked this up for myself at a yard sale and then realized, first and foremost, it was a sleep shirt. And secondly, I don't even like long sleeve shirts. You'll never see me in long sleeve shirts. Yes, jackets, but I'm not a long sleeve shirt person, so I'm not even quite sure why I picked it up for myself. Nevertheless, it sold $11.41. Sandra Boynton, Hank the Dog plush from 2013. Now there is a Kohl's Cares one of this character. It doesn't sell very well. This one was a Sandra Boynton brand dog, and he sold for $39.95. From the Snoopy lot, these were little toddler mittens, sold for $8.96. Best Made Toys Brown Bear plush. Now, I know that this is one to be looking for, but I think Cloud Island maybe has one that looks similar to it. And every time I find the Cloud Island one, I get so excited. It doesn't sell for as well. This is the one to be looking for. He's got little yellow dots on his feet and ears, and he sold for $49.95. M&M Valentine's Day. Y'all, these are from the high bid estate sale that I won over 3 years ago. Still selling it on a regular. These 2 plush sold for $19.76. And I think in the feedback the person left for me said they're actually her tree toppers this year. I thought that was a cute idea. Fisher Price Husky Helper replacement parts to one of the vehicles sold for $9. American Eagle women's bootcut jeans sold for $20. This was from my friend Shannon. These are the Cat's Meow Village North Pole collection, sold very, very quickly, $18.59. West Bend Food Chopper Vintage sold for $23.35. I picked this up at an estate sale, I'm pretty sure. I thought when I picked it up that it was missing a piece, but somebody in my comments told me that it doesn't come with like a base to it. It's just open. That was quite a relief to know that I was going to be able to sell this as is. It did work, and it sold for $30. Fiesta Hello Kitty and Keto Frog plush. These were big. I think Hello Kitty was like 24 inches. I just decided to put the two together. They weren't selling that great separately, and the two sold for $38.21. Mr. Potato Head, Kylo Ren. Not sure why I don't have Star Wars written there. Nevertheless, sold for $15.25. You get like that when you're listing and you forget some of the keywords, and then even after the fact, I don't catch it.
Or when you spell them wrong.
Yeah, when you spell words wrong. Morgan Creative Felt Stockings. I bought a bunch of these. Some of them were like Cabbage Patch Kids. Some were these dogs and cats and bears. Just a whole stack of them. I think I paid $0.25 each at my favorite little estate sale company. And these two sold for $17.95. Lots to share with you guys, y'all. I was thrilled when I found this. I didn't even realize at first that it was Stife. I just realized it was a very nice, well-made, vintage-looking hand puppet. Then I found out afterwards that it was Stife, and it sold for $32. This was in my totes and totes and totes of Profit Pal stuff that I listed at the beginning of the year. It was made by Russ, just a teeny, less than 2-inch figure. Somebody's probably going to get it in their stocking, right? $8.96. Your special. Thai Pluffies. I love them. Some of them are just bread and butter. But this is, and I find him quite often, this is the Brown Monkey Dangle from 2007. Sold very, very quickly, $26.95. He didn't even have his paper tag. Dunder Mifflin coffee cup sold for $8.96. This is that's from the movie, not the movie, the TV series The Office. This is a Carter's Yellow Duck plush from 2011. Again, nice, $26.95. Kohl's. I love picking up lots of Kohl's. They tend to sell well during Christmas season for me. This Grover sold for $8.96. Eddie Bauer women's corduroy pants sold for $12. Getting to the end. Lee jeans. Y'all, Lee jeans. These are vintage 18 petite, and they sold for $10. All right, this is a different series of the Rodney reindeers. I didn't even put Rodney in there because I'm not quite sure. It doesn't say Rodney on the tag. So I just tend to not use Rodney, even though he looks like Rodney and he is by Hallmark. But he sold for $12.95. And then these last three are some of the better sales that I had this weekend, that week. This is a Jimmy Winnie the Pooh musical snow globe. Like, it's air blown, 13-inch. I had to pre-box this thing. Just another reminder, if it's large, pre-box, put in the exact measurements and weight. It sold for $39.95. Amala, never heard of this brand. I was surprised when I looked up comps for it. It is a black bear plush and it sold for $59.95. And last but not least was this. This is a Moshi Micro Beads Blue Elephant plush. Anytime I find Moshi stuff, I pick them up. They do really well. This one sold very, very quickly for me. $59.95. All right, I hope you guys are having amazing luck and great sales this time of year. It's lunchtime, y'all. It's time to get to work. Bye.